we're back and we are going to start working on our chicken pot pie. I wanted to tell you first of all, we are going to go through each of the recipes on your recipe sheet. So if you want to kind of take that out and look at it, we're going to go through each of the recipes and we're going to start looking at where it says day of workshop prep. If you look at the ingredients, you can get a little bit confused because there are some things like heavy cream, flour, especially like for this one, that you don't need right now. So if you have those in front of you, maybe push them to the side. Don't accidentally dump those in because you don't need that right now. Those are going to be for after it's cooked. You're going to kind of add that in at the last minute. But we're going to start with day of workshop prep. And then when it comes to where it says to add our chicken to the bag, we're going to skip that. We're going to actually stop the video, go to our next recipe, and we're going to work our way through this whole menu of all 8 recipes. And then at the very end, we're going to do the meat for all the recipes. So we're actually going to shoot a separate video where we talk about what meats go in what bags, how to cut them or whatever. So don't mess with your meat now. And the reason we do this is just to keep your workspace easy, like clean and sanitary. So you're not running back and forth washing your hands and stuff like that. I've just found that it's a lot easier. So go ahead, grab your celery, and I have a little note on here that says you might need to split it into 2 bags. Kind of depends on like how big your potatoes are, how big your, how much stuff you have to put in them. But I think that this might right now fit into 1, so I'm just gonna try for 1. But go ahead and chop your celery. So I'm actually just cutting mine in half, and then I'll chop them all together. So like I'm just cutting down the middle of the rows of celery, and then I'll line them all up and chop them all up into little pieces together. So you're gonna do that and dice your onion, and then mince your garlic. And this is the cheating way to do garlic.
So much easier.
I have just, always I would do my own garlic with every recipe I made. But then when I started doing the freezer meals, I realized if I'm doing a ton of garlic, it's just so much easier to buy this pre-minced garlic. And for me, if you have this too, for me, it's like a half a teaspoon is 1 clove of garlic, and I usually do a little bit more. Oh, that reminds me.
You can't ever have too much garlic.
Right.
No, there is no such thing.
So for all of these recipes, they are all just basically suggestions. If there is something that you don't like, you don't have to add it. If there's if you don't like to have a lot of salt, then don't add the salt on this recipe. You can make it your own. Another thing I've noticed is that I think that the crock pot kind of zaps some flavor when it's cooked.
Especially garlic. That's an important note.
Really?
Garlic, the longer garlic is cooked, the less garlic flavor there is.
I had no idea. Julian, the scientist, I'm so glad that you No, so really, I have been telling people at the workshops that it's important, like at the end, to taste everything after they've cooked it, and then you might want to take whatever rubs or whatever spices are in your crock pot meal. Go ahead and maybe add like a half a teaspoon or even half a tablespoon or a whole tablespoon more at the end, just to add some fresh flavor. The other thing is you guys can take your mixing bowl and put your bag in. It'll kind of stand it up so you can put all your goodies in there. And one more thing before I forget is we're going to be using coriander herb for this recipe. I would shake this up because sometimes after it's gone through shipping, I think it settles, and sometimes the salt or certain spices tend to settle on top or at the bottom. So shake them up really good before you actually start using them.
Guys, I have a confession to make. I'm kind of freaking out right now that I'm going to have like a Chandler Bing moment or cut my finger off on camera.
That has happened before.
Well,
I'm like never afraid of knives except down on camera, and I'm like, if I'm ever going to chop my finger off, it's going to be.
Should I have you sign a
Well,
waiver?
people are watching.
Well, and speaking of these knives that Bellotta has, there's no comparable. They cut so well. They just go through stuff so smoothly. So I encourage you, if you don't have a good knife, these are pretty, inexpensive, and they're amazing.
I'm getting celery.
Thanks for the advertisement, Josh.
Yeah, they really are. we never really had a good set of knives, really, before Bellotta. We would just use cheap ones we would get here and there, and then we got Bellotta, and I'm like, I don't know. They cut so much better than any knife we had before.
I really like them. They're ceramic, and I've had a lot of people come and borrow them at the workshop and just comment about how they like how sharp they are. So on your onions, some of you guys probably know what you're doing, and some people, I have seen a lot of people. So let me just say, if you are a non-cook, if you don't really cook, if you do a lot of takeout, and if you do a lot of frozen things or macaroni and cheese, that's okay. There have been so many people come to the workshops who don't know how to use knives or don't know how to cut certain things. So,
we can't judge you from this side of the camera.
Right. And you're not alone, and I'm not an expert, but I thought that I could show you. So when I cut an onion, there are lots of ways to cut, and my husband actually, he was a chef. He worked in some restaurants before, and so he would probably say I'm not doing this the best way, but I like to go through.
I've bore witness to that fight before in your household.
Right.
The how to chop an onion, not fight, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. So I just cut it in half, like not the way that you would slice it for like hamburger slices, but I cut it the other way. And then I just like to go down.
That's what she said.
Oh, Julian, that's inappropriate. And I just like to go and cut like slices and make sure that they all stay as like it's still like one onion. And then I'll go back through. It's taking me a second. But then I'll go back, I'll turn it, and I'll go back through and I'll slice it like this. So, and you can do like small, tiny little onions, or you can do them bigger. It just kind of depends, but I don't know, diced or kind of how mine are.
Guys, I'm really excited about this because I've never had chicken pot pie before. Confession, I know I'm a real American, I promise, but I'm allergic to all of the things. And so usually chicken pot pie has like canned soups in it, and I'm allergic to canned soup and also peas, so I had to substitute. So if you need to substitute because someone has food allergies, I hope this turns out good because I had to find some substitutions because I couldn't find the peas and carrots bag. I couldn't find just carrots, and so I had to go get some canned carrots, and we'll see how it goes. And then I'm putting green beans in mine instead of peas because I thought it would be more colorful. I almost got squashed, and I was like, well, then everything is yellow. So.
Well, that's a good idea. If you need to substitute because you've got an allergy, or just because you don't like something, then that's totally fine. My eyes is happening to you.
I feel like we need to have a little interlude. In the arms of the angel. We can play some like sad puppies.
Oh gosh, yeah. Now I just rubbed my face and I brought onion closer to my eyes. So. That wasn't as strong as some onions, but you guys are probably feeling.
I've also heard if you rinse them in cold water, it helps get some of the sulfites.
I heard rinsing them is good too, because it like does whatever.
Or if you do it next to cold water, I don't know, something about that.
Well, they used to say put a piece of bread in your mouth, but
I've never heard that.
Oh, my
wives' tales.
Yeah. Okay, so guys, I didn't wash my potatoes. Talk about something. I'm gonna wash my potatoes. Oh,
okay. So I made this meal for the first time. It's been a couple months ago, and it was good. It wasn't great. So Amy revamped it to the meal it is now, and it's really, really good. Mm-hmm. So my husband's not a big chicken pot pie fan, and we made this new, revamped recipe that she put together about a month ago, and loved it.
It's way better.
Way better. Creamy, thicker, just really good. So I hope you guys enjoy it.
We should probably also have a side note that there's no pot in the chicken pot pie.
Right, so you can eat this semi-healthy, although it does have like a lot of heavy cream in it. You can eat it like that, or what we do is, I think on your thing, you've got canned or fresh made biscuits. So I did it once. Since we split this in half, our family's small, we did split this in half the first time. And the first time I did like a canned, what's the brand biscuit, I did that. And then the second time, I guess you can start cutting your potatoes. You can leave the skin on, or you can peel them off. I have potatoes over there if you want. I don't mind leaving my skin on. But, what's his name? Oh, I have on your sheet that I found a recipe from Paula Deen. I know Paula Deen. She's super
butter and oil.
But her old-fashioned biscuits recipe, I've been making it for probably since maybe 6 months or so, maybe longer. It's so good. You make it in a cast iron skillet, lots of butter and.
Oh yeah, I tried to make that and I substituted for wheat flour. I think
not
work.
The same. No. If you want them to actually be really indulgent, then you have to do white.
Yeah.
So they're not really that healthy. But
important note with the potatoes: the smaller the slices, the quicker they will cook.
Right. So if you are wanting to do this as a shorter cooking time, you might do them smaller. I'm just kind of doing them the size of a dime, maybe a little bit smaller. What did I say? Quarter size. But I'm actually doing mine a little bit smaller, so it's kind of up to you. Let's see.
Guys, I think the potato may be the best invention God ever
Now you're using 2 potatoes or 1?
I'm just using 1 because I have a really big one.
Okay.
But you could probably do 2. Yours are
Maybe I'll do 1
medium. Yeah.
compensate the other half.
And I think it's
We're
better to
getting
err on
total.
the side of more potatoes is better.
Like Julia just said, the potatoes.
Yeah.
It's I mean, these recipes are really up to you. So
That's my Irish roots coming out.
we were talking about 7 things for allergies. Well, coming up in a little bit, there's a recipe for. Well, we have 2 recipes that have olives this time, right? Are there 2?
Yeah,
Did you
I
get 2
totally
cans?
skipped the olives.
I did
Okay,
too. I don't like olives.
So you
No.
can skip the olives, or you can like substitute. I have one of our workshop attendees always just buys canned mushrooms instead.
Oh, I should have done
Okay, I
that.
have a package of mushrooms
I'm
because
gonna
I got
use
too
it.
many, so I'll let you. You can
Okay.
have some of my fresh mushrooms to add to it. But she does that. The chicken, it's the pepperoni chicken that I think mushrooms would be pretty good with.
Yeah.
But the chicken provolone, like if you don't hate olives, go ahead and try the chicken provolone with olives because I really like them.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it like the chicken provolone. I'll tell you straight about that when we do it actually. Okay, so what are we on? We have potatoes. Now we have to do everything else. So we've got onion. Oh, garlic. Everybody do your garlic.
All right.
I had a crock pot recipe recently that called for 12 cloves of garlic because of the
Oh my gosh.
longer the garlic cooks thing. When I'm making crock pot meals, so I'm going to probably use a lot more garlic. When I'm making crock pot meals, I usually add the garlic towards the end, like when it's almost done.
Yeah.
Because I love garlic.
Not a bad idea.
So now we do
Yeah,
corn.
go ahead and just go through your.
And I got a really big bag, so I'm just going to do.
And are you using
Half
half
of
that
it.
bag
Mhm.
for what? Fiesta chicken? No,
I think
Mexican was on there.
Mexican was on there.
Yeah, and that's totally fine. It's a good way to save some money. Oh, I have another bag of peas and carrots I need to go grab because this is supposed to be 2. This is why you may use 2 bags because I don't know if it's gonna fit. So
Like taking out all of my aggression on this bag of corn.
at our home workshops, we have. You should see this kitchen. Like there are so many people and so many groceries that, like right now, we've just been bringing the groceries that we need for each meal. But normally, everybody's got like bags of everything. Yeah, it's just a big mess. But we decided to save you from seeing that on the camera. Wow, I don't know if mine can fit.
I don't think mine is either.
Oh man, do 2 bags. Maybe I'll go back and make a note to it.
Oh, look, there's
Definitely
cute
do
little.
2 bags.
I opened this up and there's cute little bags of green beans in here.
Nice.
Okay, so I need an extra bag.
I'm going to just get 1 bag of peas and carrots, though.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I can just throw my chicken on top.
I don't know where I put my freezer
Because
bag. This is real life, people. We're
Real
not
life.
editing
Is
this.
this real life?
Where's my extra
Is this going to be forever? And I'm using my can opener to try this can of carrots so I don't die. I'm just kidding, I won't die with the peas, but my eyes slow closed and it's really
Oh, no.
it's really funny to watch.
Wow, I'm not really prepared for what I'm about to do.
That's okay. They could be doing the same thing.
Yeah. 2 bags.
We're just making sure they have time, that's what it is.
I will definitely be going back and putting a little note. I mean, I did put a note, but then I steered you wrong. You never really actually did it. But you do, I mean, you want to start with 2 bags from the beginning because you obviously can't just have, I mean, you could have a bag of just like certain things, but I think it's better to go ahead and mix it all up.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you could have, I could have just started another bag that just has my broth and
Yeah,
spices,
but
but you
together.
kind of want to have it all together, I think.
Guys,
Plus, for our family, this is going to be 2 meals. Look how much food this is.
Yeah.
this garlic smell is making my mouth water.
Is
Really?
it?
Really,
you
you
guys
set
eat
this
breakfast?
garlic next to
I
me.
didn't eat.
I did
Or
not
lunch.
eat breakfast. Or lunch. Yeah, I haven't eaten yet today. Had a cup, but I had my coffee.
Normally, so
You're welcome.
So,
You're gonna
if
have
you,
it?
well, I think I should just maybe.
Perfect.
Thanks, Fred.
Bring
Maybe
it
we should
forward.
be dicing these smaller so Thompson
This
doesn't
is why it's
throw
such a
them
mess.
Pissy.
I
doesn't like carrots.
Is that what he says?
Yeah, but then unless he pretends he's a bunny. Yeah, if we pretend he's a bunny, then he likes carrots. It's all about, when you have toddlers, it's all about what trickery you can.
Yes, it is. When eating. Okay, so what do we have next?
So you're doing what I'm doing, where you have to go back and do 2 bags.
What?
Should we go ahead of you?
No, I was just copying. I'll dump it in the bag.
Well, because I didn't feel like mine was gonna fit, but yours.
I'm not going to add 2 bags of peas and carrots. I'm just going to do 1.
Okay, so now I just have to add the rest. So I just went ahead and I did my garlic. I'm doing peas and carrots, corn, potatoes. So grab your coriander herb. Make sure you've shaken it up. You're gonna need to. Ooh, mine's already open, but you've got a brand new one. You're gonna need to pull the little thing off of yours. Then just start measuring. Like I said, like you can do more or less. Oh, I split mine. So if you split your bags, make sure you
Split the spices.
do half and half. Yeah.
It's like Fort Knox tearing these things off.
I know.
I'm always so
Use
bad
your
at
knife.
it.
Use your knife. By the way, when I take my tablespoon, I often
go over.
just kind of go over. So if you want to do that, then that's
I do
okay.
too.
Some people don't like a whole lot of flavor. Like they just they don't like things like really strong. I do. So let's see, a little bit of salt. Here's salt, guys.
I left my tablespoon in the garlic.
Oh, you did a tablespoon
I did a heaping tablespoon.
instead of a teaspoon for each one.
Yeah. I usually
Let me know how that
go-
goes. Here's some
What?
salt. Yeah, some salt. Now 4 cups of chicken stock. That's what I'm on. By the way, if you're ahead of us or you're behind, that's totally fine.
Yes. Everyone
You
goes at
can
their own
stop
pace.
and start and rewind. It's the beauty of having it recorded, actually.
I brought my own chicken stock, guys.
Oh yeah, Jillian, see how fancy she
Oh
is.
my goodness. How do you have time to do that?
This is why. This is how. When I make chicken with bones in it, I save all the bones.
I just never make chicken with bones.
And then I save all my, like right now we're throwing all our vegetable
I just
scraps
half a potato
in
there.
this
Like,
bin.
let's-
Yeah, in this bin. And then I just stick it in a giant pot with like save up a couple months of chicken bones, save up a bunch of veggies, and like put it in a pot for like, how much? 4 cups?
Yeah.
Put it in a pot for like, no, this is 3. Put it in a pot for like a couple of days.
You should have put this in your bag first.
Well, that's okay.
Okay.
I'm not so much with the direction following.
We're gonna. I know.
And you know what?
That's
If
why
you're
I
one of
have
those
it here.
people, your meal will turn out just
Yeah, it
fine.
will. I mean, it really will. I think I'm all done except
Okay.
for the chicken. So
Okay, me too.
you don't have to seal these perfectly right now.
We'll show you the trick later.
Right, we will, and we'll also show you about. I mean, you might want to go ahead and like mix it up a little with the spices, and then do the same thing when your chicken is added. But I think this is a really important step
Yeah.
to make sure that everything's distributed. It's gonna be
Because it's going to
harder.
kind of marinate a little bit
Right.
in your freezer.
Oh, so while we're waiting, let me count.
This is our whole life.
Right. Okay. Let's do it over.
Amy and I have been best friends since like diapers, and this is pretty much a perfect illustration of our friendship.
That has more of it has all the liquid in it, so you're gonna need to like put some liquid back into this.
And we can just do it and scrape it. Look, now it sits on its own.
But are you putting it all in the same bag? That's the reason I put
Yeah.
it in the bowl.
No,
is
I'm
to
putting
split
it-
it into 2 bags.
Oh, I thought you did it to mix it up.
No, actually, like this is a big mess, so we're gonna have to like wash our bowls before we do the next one.
Well, that's why we're pausing in between videos, is to fix Jillian's mistakes.
I'm so glad I have you guys here. It would be really boring if I was just.
It's a happy moment. I'm so glad
Happy
we're friends.
Okay, yeah, that fits. Your giant chicken breasts that you have are not going to fit in there, but we'll figure it out.
It'll probably be okay. Hakuna
Okay.
Matata, guys. Hakuna Matata.
All right.
Okay, that's it for chicken pot pie. Get your things ready for a creamy tortellini bowl, and we'll be back doing that one.